Hey everyone, I'm here at Pinnacle Physical Therapy and Rehab down at Normandy Beach. Today I'm here with Dan and Chrissy, the owners of this place, and they're going to talk to us a little bit today, talk to me today a little bit about their business and how they've been running so far. Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
So let's start with a little bit of the services that you guys offer. Can you just run through that a little bit of what you guys have here?
So we do, in each office, we run like a full service therapy gamut. So our main focus is physical therapy, of course, but then we also offer wellness, such as we do massage therapy, we offer acupuncture, we have CBD products. What else do we have?
Have nutritionists.
We have a nutritionist on staff, so we kind of want to take the patient from the time we get them to the time we leave, but carry on their care, because even after therapy, you always need to take care of yourself. So we kind of wanted to encompass that all in our own practices.
Awesome, and we'll talk about more of that in a minute or two. But first, let's talk about, so I'm here at the Normandy Beach location. You guys have two offices. This is the newer of the two. Of course, your other one is in Point Borough. And so just take me through a little bit of how you guys got started there. And, obviously Point Borough, a great sports town. I know a lot of athletes there. I'm a sports reporter and cover the high school athletics there. So take me through sort of how you guys opened up there and just the journey you guys have been on being in Point Borough and being here.
So we opened our practice about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Both of us just it's been a long time dream, and we're actually residents in Point Borough.
Okay.
So our youngest son is an athlete in Point Borough.
Awesome.
It's a great little community. We loved it there. So we found our spot there and just kind of dug in, and we've just grown and grown and grown, and the community's great. The people are great. They're basically our family. That's kind of like our motto here is once you come in the door, you're basically our family. And, our patients are our family, staff is family, and that it's just a family, very oriented community. We call it like the little bubble everybody likes to stay in.
Right, of course, yeah.
And it's just a great place to be. So we built our practice, which is great, really off of word of mouth. We have no one physician referral, and we've grown that way. And I think it's honestly due to that community, that we've been able to grow and grow. And then moving down here, really you have the same thing, just in a different location. It's all community, and it's just family. Everyone we get is a referral from another person or a family member.
Has there been sort of like, was there a challenge at first, adding another office? Because as you mentioned, you guys are so, close with the Point Borough community, then you guys came down here. I guess what have been, some of the differences that you guys have faced expanding?
Definitely down in Normandy, it's a more seasonal community. With obviously our busiest time being in summer, but there's enough people here year round, even more than we actually knew, that it's sustains itself. And like you said, it's a different town, but still that same small family feel.
Right. And I guess that's another thing we can branch off of. I saw you guys are very active in the community, not just in Point Borough, but you guys were down in Seaside. Was that recently, or was that?
Yeah, we've done the Seaside Half Marathon. We set up a tent and we stretch all the athletes and runners. I think that was our third year.
That was our third year. This would have been our fourth, but unfortunately it was canceled because of everything going on.
But that's like a great event, because you get to see all the athletes, you get to see the runners, and it's not just this community, but it's people from all over. I've had patients come to us all the way out from like Cherry Hill.
Wow.
That have come to our office in Point. So we try to do those. We do a lot of those events. We do a walk on water event.
Okay.
Which is a surfing event for children with disabilities. So there are professional surfers who actually take them on their boards and give them the experience of surfing that they never would have been able to have.
That's really awesome, yeah.
And that was a great event too, because we really thought we were going to be there for the kids, and we really ended up being there for the support staff, because they were so tired and sore from taking the kids in and out. And we get to meet a lot of great people that way. Of course, in Point Borough, we sponsor and support the majority of any of the teams that come in there, because one day it'll be our kid on one of those teams.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously Point Borough just got their surfing team back, so that might be something that obviously if you guys have talked with a lot of their athletes, and
we support them. We
obviously a lot of hard work and everything that they put into it and getting that team back and everything like that. But yeah, obviously back to you guys and everything. So that's a great thing that you guys do. Obviously shows a lot about general care for wellness, not just somebody that gets an injury and somebody has to come here and the next thing they're out the door. But when you guys are at these events, it really shows that you care. And obviously I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see you guys there, that you can get them ready for these events.
It's really great. And we have like a lot of sports who JSA, CrossFit, and Manasquan. We're
Okay.
really close relationship with them with treating their athletes. Short Point Fitness,
Right.
right in town in Point, like they're amazing people, and we help them with their athletes. So it's really great having them start. The patient has a goal, and we get them back, and they achieve their goal, and we get to kind of follow them through that little journey, and then it's awesome seeing them compete and stuff like that too. So
Right.
it really is. It's a great service all the way around.
So let's get back to some of the services, obviously, that you guys offer, and we'll start with with physical therapy, because that is one of the main things that you guys do. Just take me through that a little bit. And you mentioned about, not in certain circumstances, not having to have a referral, which is very big, because I'm sure a lot of people, maybe they want to come for physical therapy, but it's, a little bit tough for them. They don't want to go to a doctor, and they kind of neglect it. And then all of a sudden that could turn into something, a larger issue.
Right. So with reimbursement, how it's changed lately is majority of insurances, we have what's called direct access, which is you don't need a physician's referral to see us or a prescription. Medicare is one of the few insurances that they still do require one. So if you have a Medicare as insurance, not unfortunately, but with that insurance, you do need a doctor's prescription. But the majority of the other services, you don't need a prescription. And you can come in, we can make an evaluation, we set up a treatment plan, and we take you to fruition. That being said, it doesn't mean you don't need to see a doctor. It means that if we can't fix you or we can't get it straightened out, our job is then to refer you to the proper physician. So you're also not seeing, 9 million doctors, right? To say, okay, you need to see an orthopedist, or you can just see your general practitioner. So we kind of make that pathway a little easier for the patient too.
And is there sort of like a communication that you guys have with different doctors, or is it more or less when you evaluate the patients, you get an understanding more or less of what they need? Because, as if I'm correct, there's no doctors here, right?
Yeah, no, we don't have any doctors in our offices.
Okay.
It's all based off of what we'll do is the therapist does the evaluation, and then we forward our eval to the physician if they have one.
Right.
And sometimes they never need to see a physician. We'll get them, and we get them better, and then they're good.
Let's talk about sports injuries a little bit. Obviously, for many of the athletes that I cover at the high school age range, it could be quite a daunting and difficult task for both athlete and parent, for parents to have an understanding of first what has happened to their child, but then trying to find somebody that they can trust to come or to bring them to in order to help them heal the injury. So when they come here, what is the process that you guys have in order to ensure that there's an understanding between, the parents and the athlete, and to make sure that, not only physically they understand what's going on, but sort of it's also a mental challenge, right, to get them on board to understanding what is going on as well?
Absolutely. I think the hardest part with that is, is keeping the athlete out of sport. We try not to do that, but there are instances where it's just, there is no other choice. They're too hurt to go back. So but it's also when they come in, the therapist will evaluate them, and they set the goals for the patient from the first day. We usually have the parent in there so they understand as well, but there's always a challenge. You don't want your child hurt. You don't want them to miss their sport that they love. So we try and set realistic expectations. John, the trainer at Point Borough, is fantastic. He and I will converse.
Okay.
And we work hand in hand. So he'll be seeing an athlete at the school. We see them in therapy, and then depending what physician is, we try and you get your group of people involved, so it's the best outcome for the athlete and the fastest. So all parties, because 9 out of 10 times they're going to see us, but they'll continue with John at school, or John will be seeing them and refer them to us. So everyone's on the same page all the time. Information is key. The more information they have, parents feel better, the athlete feels better, and the coaches as well, because they want to get the kid back to sport as well, but they want to do it safely. Nobody wants to ruin a career and get back too soon. Of
course. And I noticed that you guys also have other services as well, like massage and acupuncture. Talk to me a little bit about acupuncture, because I know I've had it. I personally love it, but for a lot of people, again, another daunting thing to have kind of needles prickled all over their body. So just tell me, it's kind of more or less, I wouldn't say necessarily new, but it is a more modern and more holistic approach to trying to, help people with their symptoms. Correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's something that's been around for centuries, so I guess if it's been around for hundreds of years,
but a lot of
Our acupuncturist is Tom Majeski. He's 5 Points Acupuncture.
Okay.
So he does distal acupuncture. So if it's your neck, he'll actually put it in your hands and feet. He can also do a trigger point acupuncture for muscle spasms. It works excellent with physical therapy because we can actually treat the patient while they have their acupuncture. So it saves time, but it also saves our hands and everything like that. It's for relaxation. It's for pain. I mean, it really does.
He uses it to treat almost anything. He
Yeah.
uses it to treat asthma, high blood pressure.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've heard about it, is that it's a kind of like a you know, I wouldn't say like one-stop approach, but it can help with a lot of different ailments and different things like that. So people have generally been pleased with that. And in fact, you tell somebody that, one, they can either take less medicine or no medicine at all. Obviously, that has been sort of a point of emphasis, to try to get people to be able to take less medication and to try things that are more of a holistic approach.
Right, and it opens up a whole
Yeah.
other doorway too, and that a lot of times acupuncture will lead to, when they see the results they get, then you'll see them, they start to be a change where they really
Right.
look at their wellness all around, their nutrition, just how they move, their exercise. It kind of, like you said, it breaks down that barrier that there's other things out there other than just taking a pill to make yourself feel better.
So, let's get back to a little bit of the two offices that you guys have. Generally speaking, it must be nice to have, patients be able to come to two offices, of course, and it broadens things a little bit for you
Yeah.
guys. So how have you guys kind of been able to get adjusted to having two offices? Is it a little bit different, obviously, than just being in the one place all the time? And, you have a whole new community, of course, down here. So,
It was definitely a transition
Right.
process, having the two, but fortunately, because there are two of us, we can easily have one of us kind of overseeing each facility, and we're very fortunate in that we have great staff and great patients that we're 5 years in at the one and a year and a half here, that they do kind of run themselves.
I think, it's really your staff that grows, your business.
Yeah.
You can only do so much. We're really, really blessed. Like, I can honestly say, our staff is phenomenal. Each therapist, they're not just great therapists, they're great people. Like, from our front desk people
Right.
to, our aides to staff, like, they genuinely care about our patients, and I think that shows through, and that we've been lucky enough that all the staff we have, we just make a great big family, and patients, like, we have patients that come to just see us, and that's the biggest compliment you can have, because
Yeah.
not only are they injured and they don't feel well, but they enjoy their time here. And it doesn't have to be, when it first started, it was just Chrissy and I. Like, we've grown, and now I think we're up to 5 to 6 therapists, and they each have their own following, and they each, like, they've just grown that same philosophy where they just genuinely like people, they make them happy.
Is physical therapy something that people can come to more of as a long-term thing? If it's something that, they have, like, muscle aches, or they have pains, and, they want to come and sort of make it about generally feeling better. Is that something that they can turn to?
They absolutely can.
Yeah.
The difficulty with that, and the avenue we run, is 9 out of 10 times insurances won't cover for that. So
Okay.
it ends up being an out-of-pocket expense. But at Pinnacle, like, our whole reason for opening was the practice is because we wanted to control the continuum of care and give
Right.
those patients options. So we have a lot of patients that literally pay out of pocket. We always make it affordable for the patient,
Okay.
and they'll come in because just that once a week tune-up of getting stretched, just running through your exercises, actually telling us what you do outside of here, like with the
Right.
CrossFitters and those, like, what their strengthening programs are. We can kind of fill in the little niches where they may be falling apart. But physical therapy it's actually what it says. It's physical, it's therapy. Like,
Of course.
everyone moves, and there's no reason you shouldn't feel good all the time. Like I said, it's just getting out of that mindset of, you don't need a doctor's prescription. And if you're willing to take on, like, a lot of people get a massage once a week or once a month. So we have patients who come in once a week, once a month, just to get their tune-up. So it's kind of growing that aspect that it is a form of wellness as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, I want to thank you for having me today. This is Pinnacle Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Dan and Christy, thank you so much. And guys, come visit them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.